Hi, I'm Helen Slater.
I'm Helen Hunt.
And we are alone with Jake Hogan.
Don't be alone with Jake Hogan.
Hello, Kogan Nation. Hello, Don't Be Aloners. This is Don't Be Alone with Jake Hogan, and I am your amiable host, Jake Hogan. Thank you for being here. Thank you for liking the show, as some of you do. Not all of you, but some of you. If you do like the show, remember to share it and like it and press buttons, subscribe to it, do all that kind of stuff. We have to impress an algorithm. And I guess reviews and liking and clicking buttons is impressive to the algorithm. Write to me at dbawjk@gmail.com with all your compliments. Yes, you can compliment us, your suggestions, your criticisms, and of course your vaunted viewer mail. We have listener mail that comes in. We ask the questions to guests who you don't know who they'll be, but these great life questions are the flow of the show. So please keep them coming, and I really appreciate when you do. So today's show is going to be a very special show. It's about friendship. The older I get, the more I value my friendships, and I'm impressed with friendships that last a really long time. And my guests today are two friends who have been friends for a really long time. They're two actresses, got very famous, very young, Helen Slater and Helen Hunt. Helen Slater, I think, first got most famous for being Supergirl. That wasn't her first thing, but she played Supergirl, and everybody went, whoa, new Supergirl, fantastic. And Helen Hunt is an Academy Award winning actress who's been on Mad About You and As Good as It Gets and been movies. But the real reason I brought them on is because of that long-lasting friendship. That thing, what bonds people together when they first meet. And at that point, what keeps them together for 40 years or more? What's the magic? What's the secret sauce that keeps them helping each other? What, are they completely the same? Are they opposites? Anyway, I'm rambling, but we're going to hear more about the great friendship and the great artistry and the great humanity of these two people, Helen Hunt and Helen Slater, right after this.
Don't be alone with Jake Hogan.
Helen Slater and
Yes.
Helen Hunt, thank you both for coming on Don't Be Alone with Jake Hogan.
Thank
This
you.
is
Yes.
a magical day for me. I've known you both for many, many years, and I could have had each of you here separately because you both have very fascinating artistic lives and histories and all kinds of stuff. But the thing that made me invite you both is you have a remarkable friendship. And that's like one of the major facts I've known about you since day one. Like, really, it's like very early on. It's like, oh, well, they're very close. They're very close. Like, how close? Well, it turns out 40 years later, really, really close.
And they have the same name. They're so close.
That's
Yes.
true. Well, I mean, let's start with that. How do you negotiate that? I mean, I guess assume when you say Helen, she knows who you're
That's
talking
Well, we
about.
were at
right.
a party Monday night, a birthday, and I just say, I'm Helen, because she knew, I just say to people I don't know who she might be, I'll be like, and I'm also Helen. I just put also, or
Okay.
I'm Helen number 2.
Right.
If it's like,
And it's easy for people as they get older.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
you're in a party
Right.
meeting a bunch of people.
Sure.
Like, this is covered. We're just
Right,
Helen.
just Helen. Okay, Helen. All right. I mean, and you have two names. I know you by two different names, last names.
oh, Slater and Watsky.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know you more by
Watsky's-
Watsky than by Slater, but we're here in a professional setting.
Yes, we're
So here we are, by Slater. I will say, just to begin with,
Yes.
it has nothing to do with you, but I love your husband enormously.
We love Rob Watsky.
And I have said for many years, and I've said this publicly, that you two are some of the sweetest people
Thank
on
you.
the face of the earth.
Do you know who is responsible for my husband and I
Is that
being
you?
together and married?
How fantastic. How did that tell us the story?
I was in Gary Austin's improv class.
Right.
Gary Austin, who started the Groundlings.
Right.
The Groundling Theater is a block from where we're standing. There's a plaque outside with his name on it. And I was loving his improv class.
Right.
And so I brought my best friend. And then I went away to work, and I came back 6 weeks later, and she said, I've met the man I want to marry. And I said, it's Rob Watsky.
You
To
said
which
it was
Rob-
Gary Austin, and
to
then it
which
turned out. Yeah.
Rob Watsky said, like, who else was she going to say?
Like,
the,
remember who else was in
the
that class?
pickings are
Right. That was I was in that class, but I wasn't.
No,
I wasn't there when you were. But it's like, yeah, he's a great guy. He's great, and he's a great director, and he's he's fantastic.
And a great improv teacher. But the first time I ever saw anything, even in the zip code of improv, is we were in our early 20s. This is how we met. We were on a trip in Russia on a exchange of artists. It was before the wall came down, like 1985, 86 maybe, 85 or 86. And this one, Little Sunshine, gets up on a Russian stage and starts doing improvisation. I don't even remember. Was it a Russian?
Were you asked to do that, or you just decided on your own to get up on stage?
It's not beyond her.
It was a trip of actors from the U.S. and artists in Russia who were trying. This is before Glasnost.
Yes.
But just maybe it was going to come.
Right.
Just maybe the thing was going to thaw. So we went on an anti-nuclear war, peace, artistic mission.
It was an incredible trip.
I wouldn't have been. I'm on the totally pro nuclear
You're
war side.
pro-nuclear war. I know that. Yeah,
exactly.
Interesting to you.
Paul Reiser used to sit next to me and go, "Am I for a nuclear war?" You're against.
Yeah, good.
But that's how we became friends. So Keisha Lewis,
Who just won the Tony last year.
won a Tony, right? And Erica Gimple, beautiful actress,
who played Coco on Fame.
There you go. So we got to Russia, we were exhausted, and they assigned us roommates. And I think I was roommates with Keisha, and Helen was roommates with Erica, and they looked at each other and went, like they wanted to be together.
Right.
So they were together, and I was like, nice to meet you. You're
Nice
stuck
to
with
meet
me.
you.
Right.
And we stayed up until 6 a.m. talking.
That's fantastic.
And before we go back to the improv thing, I will tell you the reason this person is so close to me is because we were up all night specifically on a song lyric, which she had to explain to me. It was a Carly Simon song. It's the stuff that dreams are made of. It's the slow and steady fire. And me, as you know, I went back to grad school. I got very, very
She has
educated.
a PhD.
I know.
I was like,
mythology?
She has a mythological study,
Yes,
so she doesn't
mythological
have
study.
to, and depth psychology.
and I said to her, what does that line mean? It's the stuff that dreams are made of. It's the slow. And she explained it over and over again, like as if we were tzaddiks at the yeshiva, like here, and then the light went on. Anyway, but
it's the slow and steady. What's the last part?
It's the slow and steady fire. It's the stuff that dreams are made of.
Right.
See, it didn't make sense even now as I'm saying it. But back then,
Back then
the
it
light
made
went
sense.
on because she.
All right.
But she got up and did an improvisation in Russia, and I was like, I don't know what's happening, but I had flop sweat watching it. I was like, how are you? It was so beyond anything I had seen. And then she told me, go to Gary Austin's class.
Yeah.
Have you seen improvised Shakespeare?
Yeah.
I went up with them twice.
Oh, wow. That's
I had
fantastic.
to call my friend Cameron Manheim and ask for a beta blocker, which I took as I stepped out, which is not good planning.
And she's
But it's that
was
kind of terror,
fantastic.
that kind of terrified. Isn't it?
The only
wild?
group I'm ever terrified to play with is a group in the Groundlings called Crazy Uncle Joe.
What is that?
Oh,
and,
I've seen
and
that. I
they
think
are
Rob is-
just the only. They're lightning fast. They're lightning fast. So it's sort of like it's a revolving door that you can't get in because it's going spinning too fast. So you, they're fast and funny before you can be, and so you just are afraid you're going to look like an idiot on stage.
Yeah.
And I'm just enjoying what they do, but that's the only group that I'm afraid of. All the
your
other
heart
groups
is pounding.
I can probably try my hand at, but oh my God. But that's I can understand being scared of the Shakespeare.
90 minutes of iambic pentameter,
Yeah.
or your best try at it.
Yeah, you best try. Nobody's
She
counting.
was fantastic.
No one's
Very
counting.
She
fun.
was great.
Yeah, I mean, it helps to have a little Shakespeare in the background.
Yes,
so
I
that-
have both.
yeah,
I have
yeah.
the improv and I have the Shakespeare, and still it was like stepping off a building.
Yeah.
Well, I've always been a terrible actor. Always. But I've always wanted to be a good actor. And the best version I've been able to do is improv. Because I don't have to necessarily be believable to my core about it. I just have to try.
Why are you saying you're a terrible actor? Like one sentence more.
I feel when I've acted, and I've acted on certain shows and certain things, that I'm particularly wooden, and that you can see through my performance as as a performance and not me as a character being a character. So doesn't that sound like bad acting?
Sounds not great. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm trying to be a better actor. I am really trying to be a better actor. I started doing stand-up comedy.
Oh,
and
my goodness.
Turns out it's acting. Turns out you're taking memorized words and trying to sort of convey them conversationally
Yeah.
as if you've never said them before
Yeah.
to people who've never heard them before. And that is actually helping me be a slightly
That's
better
so
actor.
fun, Jay.
Weird. I know. Well, you got to
We're
try.
all kind of figuring new things out in this decade,
Well, I wanted to
right?
talk to you about that. You guys, we all seem to do different things and morph into different projects and different abilities because why? Like you do it, singer, songwriter, you're writing books, and then you're also did the education about, the psychology and mythology. Like you're expanding all the time. You are doing a million other things. You're directing a lot, and you're writing and producing, doing many things that aren't sort of the acting thing that you got started with. So
Right.
What's that about?
I mean, I think the key ingredient is is being out of work. You're like, so I've had lunch with Helen,
Right.
and I've walked the dog,
Right.
and it's 10:30.
Right.
So now what? So that's how my first movie I directed got written.
Right.
Like, I gotta do something.
Right.
So that, to me, that's
Okay.
the number one ingredient
All right.
is being out of work.
But I mean, I guess
And that
it's
can
true.
lead to something you love more than the thing you thought you were waiting for.
Right.
I mean, I'm probably more proud of the first movie I directed than anything I've ever done, and it only
Well, it's so
happened
much
because
better
I
than
wasn't
anything you've
working.
ever done. I mean, the
Thank
stuff
you, because
you've
the
done
rest
before
was
that was
super
pretty
stinky.
shitty.
No, that's
yeah, I know.
And I
But we
appreciate
should
you just
do a
getting
shout
that out there.
for that film, Then She Found Me, which is just like a beautiful,
Thank you.
beautiful film that makes you weep at the
Mm-hmm.
end. You're just
And you can
sobbing
now
your eyes
finally
out.
see it on Amazon.
Well,
And if you
fantastic.
forget the title, you Google Helen Hunt and Bette Midler, and there it'll be.
One of the amazing things about it is when you make a movie like that, it's so hard. It's so hard.
Yeah, it was
I mean,
10 years of hard.
You don't realize how hard it is while you're making other people's movies
Yes.
until you make your own movie.
Yeah.
Go, oh my
How
God.
long till we're done? And the director's
Yeah.
bleeding out, trying to get one shot.
It's Sisyphean. It's just like
Yeah.
Everything's against you. And then there's
Did
just,
you do it, Jay? Did you make
we
a
made
film?
a movie called The Wrong Guy one time. I've been written on movies. I've been
Yeah.
making things my whole life. And
So when it's
always
yours,
hard.
you know that it's like just that uphill Sisyphus.
Occasionally it's very easy, but often it's really, really hard. I just think it's on the shoulders of the filmmakers
Yeah.
completely.
Yeah.
To get financing, to thread the needle through all the who we going to get.
Yeah.
They want a rewrite of this. It's like everything's different, and who's going to release it and who's going to distribute it, and it's a
Yeah.
mess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard.
When I was trying to get Then She Found Me made, we had a start date. We were going to shoot in Philadelphia. We had a budget that was 4 times what I ended up making it for. Bags were packed. It fell apart.
Right.
And I said to the guy who was putting the financing together, who gets their movie made? I don't understand.
Right.
And he said, I think whoever doesn't give up.
Right.
Oh,
So
wow.
I guess that's it.
That's
Ooh, I
it.
just got
That's the only
goosebumps
weapon
when
you
she
have
said
is
that.
to
Right.
keep going. There's no other magic trick that gets it done.
But isn't that what
great.
they say about all of show business? Like,
yeah, as long as you don't quit, you're
as
still
long as you
in.
don't quit, you still do it, right?
Yes.
I mean,
I
it's-
never thought of it quite like that.
Yeah, I mean, I know many people I came up with at the Groundlings, some of whom didn't make it because they stopped.
Right.
Yeah.
They stopped. So everybody who didn't stop,
And no shade on stopping.
No.
But if you want to keep going, you got to keep going.
everybody who didn't stop made it at some point.
Mm-hmm.
They did at some point. So
That's
some were later than
interesting.
others.
Yeah.
Kathy Griffin was a little later than other people.
Yeah.
John Lovitz was a little later, but they made it. They
Yeah.
did. They did great stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. So how did you turn to, well, first of all,
Being a smarty pants?
yeah,
That's
being
what
a
I like
smarty
to
pants.
say.
Well, not
No.
well, I'll go back one step further. Taking singing seriously.
Oh, I don't think of myself the way you think of yourself as an actor is how I think of myself as a singer. I am a composer first.
Right.
I went to Performing Arts High School and was part of this incredible program of writing, taking fairy tales and turning them into musicals. That's where Keisha Lewis and Erica Gimpo, Lisa Vidal, actresses that went on to have careers. And I loved that songwriting component.
Right.
And so then I just started making albums based on myths and then just personal albums. And I just didn't have the idea like bring other people in to sing it. It just seemed better to just do it as like a singer-songwriter. It was less expensive.
Right.
But I made an album based on The Ugly Duckling, and this woman at Cal State Long Beach, who I met through Kathleen Wilhoit, another good friend of ours, she was looking for her thesis to direct a musical on a fairy tale, and Kathleen put me in touch with her, and she took The Ugly Duckling and made a production of it, and that was a very exciting left turn of
Right.
events.
I saw it. It was beautiful.
Yeah, she
How
kind
lucky
of
are you if you're I'm looking for a fairy tale musical to do my thesis.
Right.
Look,
Yeah.
have one.
I have one.
Yeah.
Here it
Thank you,
is.
Kathy Wilhoit, if
Thank
you're
you,
listening.
Kathy.
I haven't seen her in a bit of a moment, but I remember her hanging out with your group of people too. So you're still hanging out with her too?
She's
Yeah.
still in the
fantastic.
world.
All right, so let's discuss the longevity of this. There's a deeper bond between friends.
If I had to say what it is, it's like if you needed the most depth-filled, compassionate friend that would just go down into the reservoirs, that is what it is. And she's like, can we get a Diet Coke and French fries?
Right.
She's always just like just now we had lunch at this lovely, we both ate just beautiful little meals, and there's a hamburger, we see it in the whatever for somebody else, and she's like, what is wrong with us?
Right.
What it's that combination of that. And when I to go back to school to get a college degree started in my mid 40s, and then for the master's and the PhD, this one was like on my shoulder every single lap. She'd be like, that is fucking amazing. Look at what you are doing. Just win, go, do it.
All right,
Like that.
So that's what she gives you.
I give her
She
nothing.
gives nothing, right?
Not a lot,
Yeah, okay,
honestly. It's a
right.
one-way street, pretty much. No, I mean, everything she said, she does for me.
So there's a depth of empathy, you're saying, or a depth of connection. How would you just describe it?
Well, sometimes if you call your friend and say, I'm fucked, I'm terrified of this, and this is falling apart. So I guess the picture I'm painting is you're kind of drowning, and they can be up on the topside world going, you're fine. I can see where you are on the map. This is the scary part before you try something new, or this is the part where you're fatigued in getting your degree, and I'm telling you, here's some orange slices, here's some water, keep going. You kind of, I rely on Helen to give me perspective. But even really that, it's all words. I love
Right.
her.
You can't.
How about
but I
that?
mean,
I love her.
But of course you love her. But there's something in those words that's underneath those words, which is trust, affection, simpatico. There's a lot in that.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, which is why, we're not friends, because there's no empathy or trust.
The dogs are
Clearly.
some dogs are crossover.
A little bit, yeah. But I have had friends since second grade.
Do you look at us and think that's kind of like my friendship with blank?
A little bit, although I was about to say it's not like my friendship with some of those people. Some of those people I'm friends with in second grade because I was in second grade with them,
Yeah.
right? And I'm still,
That's enough.
there's still that, we have a shared history, but we don't have that depth. We don't have that empathy. They're different people. They're in different worlds. We don't share that. I share history. And that's not the same thing as a long-term, solid friendship. Like I have, obviously, a friendship, deep, abiding friendship with my wife. And I have that with some friends of mine that who I can cry with or feel, vulnerable with. And,
That's good.
And
I think of you as someone who has male friends, because a lot of men they have their wives only.
and my guma.
And what's a guma?
It's a bad joke. It's a Italian mistress. Like the
Yes.
gangsters all had their wives. Their wives came on Friday, but Saturday was for the guma.
Can you feel what a perfect audience we are for that joke? But you have male friends that you love, right?
Of course,
And
yeah.
do you have lunch with them and pour your heart out?
Sometimes, sure.
There you go.
And people
But I think you might be rare.
who go through.
That's unusual. I do think.
Everybody goes through like job loss, illness,
Yeah.
divorce, tragedy.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm
sure do.
I'm pretty good about having all those things.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm pretty good about being empathetic in those moments. Although I have been told by people I love, namely my wife, that my tendency to make a joke in deep, dark moments kind of ruins a little bit of the empathy.
It's a razor's edge, though, because it can also be just the thing
Yes.
that someone needs,
Right
like
on.
just the perfect elixir.
Also, at this point, after 4 decades, like we're walking through and seeing incredible, I'm sure for you too, Jay, like people having to go through the impossible, or losing people that you love, or watching the children grow up and having that just that thing of having, we both have daughters,
Right.
only children that are, there's there's just so much mileage of like what you're walking through, or I don't know, that kind
Do
of.
you worry about Hannah? Do you worry about her, or is she just sailing
It's funny.
free?
I don't have that drop dank. Oh my God, is she going to be okay? I'm a Jewish mother who has, and I come from that lineage of.
angry,
I
worried
do
people?
think I do angry, worried people. But I really have this just sense she's going to be okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. Maybe, thank God, Rob's from Iowa, and she just got a little bit of that Midwestern thing that just.
Yeah.
And she has his absurdist humor, and she's very funny. She'll have like Trotsky under one arm and a Starbucks in the other, and she works for the Democratic Socialists of America, and she's doing her feeding. She has a little comida libre, like a little kitchen she stocks in Los Feliz for.
She's
so
incredible.
to me, she's like, she's doing service work,
Right.
and she's writing sketch, and she has a job now. Like
So she's handling
it's
it
like-
all.
Yeah, but there are certainly moments, and Helen was walking right alongside me, where you just get that gut bomb of like, where you're just, I guess worry is the word, or you can't, you're blinded by your own mishigas. That's just, and I have called her many times where I've been like, is it mine? Is it hers? Like, where is and she thankfully has always been on Hannah's side. She's always on Rob's side. She's
Yeah.
never, ever
Right.
on my side in
Right.
those instances. I'm
Said-
like,
can I
can't
say
you
that
throw
she's the-
me a bone? Can I just be right in there?
It sounds like she's the voice of sanity. That's what I'm
Exactly.
saying. That's what I'm hearing.
That way.
What's your
Thank
best?
you.
What's your best parental lesson then? I'd like to ask each one of you. What have you learned the most from being a parent?
Well, keeping your mouth shut's really good. A lot of the time, I have found. Like,
Yeah,
there's that
I
thing when
agree with
someone
that.
says to you, "Oh, my foot hurts." You think that's them saying, "So what should I do about it?" And really, they've just said, "My foot hurts."
Right.
So, I try my best to not offer advice, biting my tongue. I have a daughter who's got the best bullshit detector of anybody I know, like immediately. So that fortifies me, that she's just got that. She's got a vocation. She's a singer-songwriter. She's in a band called Wide Mouth.
Okay.
They're
Pitch
fantastic.
away.
Singer-songwriter, acoustic.
Are they available
beautiful.
to be heard on the
Everywhere,
Spotify and
everywhere.
Apple
Their
Music?
last album
Okay.
was called Well, and they just recorded another one. Thank you for
Fantastic.
asking.
Sure.
So knowing that she has a thing she loves, that's a big piece, right?
Right.
Like, if you have something you love, that's a big bite. It's
Right.
not everything,
Right.
but it's a big bite. So she has that. Yeah, those are the things I carry around. Like, try to keep your mouth shut and try to work on your own crap so you don't visit it on them.
Well,
Not you. You don't have to do
it's
that.
going to happen no matter what, so it doesn't matter. But
I'm laughing because, like, duct tape, keep your mouth shut, quiet,
Right.
and then Hannah, if you have a kid, that just, they still know what you're thinking.
Right.
I'm like,
100%
hey,
they know what you're
I
thinking.
want credit. I didn't say anything.
Right.
I didn't utter. And she's like, but I still know. deep
Absolutely, they
down
know.
you had that.
And you
It's
get
like having no privacy.
Right.
I had a thought.
Right.
I didn't say it. It's none of your business.
right. So is it,
Yes, I'm worried.
both of you are for Hollywood actresses are remarkably grounded people, and I find that it's not always the case. So maybe that's also a bonding feature of your friendship. I mean, this one. 2 days after she won the Academy Award, made me pancakes in her. I was just sitting in her living room because somebody had invited me over, and he was busy. So I'm just sitting in her living room alone watching football.
She loves feeding people.
well, she
do.
made me.
She's very balabusta, her
Right.
Quarter Jew,
Jewness.
but it pushes through.
But you grew up in show business.
But I grew up in theater. It's different. My dad was a director of plays in New York, and so I would sit in rehearsal rooms. I wasn't like, going with him to auditions or movie premieres. They were off Broadway or regional theater plays he directed, and I would sit in rehearsal while actors work things out. So it was more like being around artists than show business.
Call a little bullshit on that. Dad was a big deal.
No, he was a big deal later, but what I grew up with
In the
wasn't
growing up
flashiness.
years.
Yeah, all right.
Our friends were composers, children's book illustrated. There was like a lot of art
A lot of
around.
culture. The Kellogg's
Yeah.
and the Gettles and the very, very.
I got to grow up around art is not a thing you piss at, you know,
Right.
like it's a real thing.
Right.
That's what I really got. And then we moved here, and he started talk about a renaissance. Like, what do you do if you're out of work?
Right.
At age 70 something, he had directed Mad About You, Cheers, all these different sitcoms, and he kind of aged out. People were not into hiring him.
Mm-hmm.
And then he learned about motion capture and started directing this huge video game, like deep in his 70s.
Right.
So that did make an impression on me. Like, you just keep making stuff.
Right.
Like you're doing this podcast.
Yeah. I'm hoping to make a motion capture version of this podcast very
Fantastic.
soon.
We'll just be covered in dots.
Exactly.
Fantastic.
We need a job.
Don't
so
even have to be there. So that's even better. The whole thing will be AI. You don't even have to show up
Good.
at all.
We'll have a coffee down the road.
You're also incredibly, like, when I first met you, you were at Rosalie Wallace's.
You were with Wally Wolodarski,
Wolodarski,
writing on The Simpsons.
and you were starring in a movie.
The Legend of Billie Jean, and Amy was my assistant. I mean, she was Rosalie's daughter, and she
But
came
you were
down and.
the least movie star I'd ever met.
Oh,
I mean,
thank
which,
you, Jay.
well, it's not necessarily a compliment. You're sleeping on a couch or something. Like, I worried about
Yeah,
you.
I did. I was
It's
like on Rosalie's.
I worried a little bit about you. Like
I didn't know. I
Yeah,
didn't
she
have
didn't know.
any-
Like, it felt like maybe she didn't know that she could have a hotel room. Like, there were things available to
I
you.
made Ruthless People living at Rosalie's house in her spare bedroom.
That was fantastic. But
Yeah.
so what was about?
22 or
Right.
something.
Yeah. But you're, very sweet and adorable, and I guess your dad was a
He was
executive.
in public. He was
Right.
at PBS.
Right.
He was in public television.
I read about him like that. I didn't know. You've never said that. The broadcasting of the Watergate. Thing was.
That was a big PBS decision, and
Right.
Wait, I don't know about that. What is that?
they decided to broadcast
to
the
live
Watergate
broadcast
hearings.
the Watergate hearings.
Which I watched sitting on
Me
my
too.
parents' bed, like getting
Yeah.
some kind of deep
That's
imprint
her-
about what America was.
Right, that's her dad's.
And
didn't
then
know
also
that.
Baryshnikov at the White House. He
Mm-hmm.
was nominated for an Emmy. I remember him telling me about that. I didn't. Yeah.
But you went to performing arts high school, so and you started doing things as a kid, right?
9 years old.
Right,
she
you were
was
acting in the Mary Tyler Moore Show and other things, I did the Bob Newhart Show when I was 10. That was
did?
exciting, so I know what that's
And
like.
I did the Mary Tyler Moore
Yeah.
Show when I was something like 10.
Yeah, and
Amazing.
it was so exciting. My experience of that, but just being on that lot, the Radford
Yes.
lot that had a Western set and some
Yes.
other things, and all
Wow.
the kids who were on doing stuff when they were the school teacher, they let us go play on the sets and stuff like that. It was so much fun. So
Wow.
it was enticing
Yes.
to be a kid, but it was exciting.
I was on the third to last Mary Tyler Moore Show, so they just kept bursting into tears. I was like, they're crying again. I guess I'll
Right.
wait. That's what I remember. I was never on a successful show. I mean, I did one episode of
Right.
a successful show here and there, but I would get on a TV series and it wouldn't last, which I think maybe is why I'm got to have a career, because I wasn't a kid on that show.
Right.
So I just feel like I just was taking it all in, all
But
the
these-
strangeness and the.
Right, but being on show to show to show, you got a real perspective.
I learned a lot. I met a lot of people.
Right.
Yeah.
Bionic Woman?
Yes. So what?
Fantastic.
You must have a bionic woman in your past. What's your
Fantastic.
what is
I
your
love-
equivalent of a bionic woman?
What do you mean?
Well,
$6 million
My
man.
shittiest credit? That's not a shitty credit. That's a fantastic credit.
Says Jake Hogan.
No, says
I was a
Helen
princess
Slater.
from outer space.
Yes.
All right.
All right, you two.
My dumbest show? I've
Not
written-
dumbest,
I've-
but whatever kitschy.
I got
now
created.
It's
I
kitschy.
created shows dumber than the Bionic Woman. Like, let
I
alone.
love the Bionic
you
Woman.
know,
I'm in love with
okay.
Lindsay Wagner.
Lindsay
still.
Wagner was
Yeah.
our icon.
Yes,
She was
totally.
like.
That's fantastic.
But you know what I mean.
I do. What was your first foray into professional?
Well, I did 2 commercials when I was at Performing Arts at 15. And then I got the lead in this. Do you remember the ABC after school
Sure,
special? So
sure.
there was one called Amy and the Angel, and I got cast as Amy.
I
and
never
it
knew
was James
I've
Earl
been married to her
Jones.
for 40 years.
Yeah.
I never knew.
James Earl Jones,
Sure.
Matthew Modine,
Wow.
Meg Ryan, Hermione.
Gingold?
That
say,
one.
the, say the lifers.
And it was a retelling of It's a Wonderful Life, but I'm a teenager.
Right.
And it's
never
like I
knew
want to
that.
commit suicide, and then James Earl Jones is the angel in heaven, and Matthew Modine becomes the Clarence character, and I come back to Earth, and yeah,
Don't hear
And
an
how
after
was
school.
that experience?
great.
Were you shocked to get it? I mean, it's
You
a
know,
big deal.
we were at Performing Arts in Manhattan. Like we were very. I think we were too. We just didn't know. Or for me, I guess I didn't feel it's a big deal. My career, I just felt like it's a job.
But did you have
guess.
ambition to be an actor?
Yes,
at that
I mean
moment,
after
right?
well, when we weren't technically allowed to work at Performing Arts High School, they sort of distinguished themselves from PCS, where our friend Cortez Alexander went, Professional Children's School, where you were allowed to work. But we were sneaking in jobs. Erica played Coco in Fame, and I did this and ABC After School Special.
The TV version of Fame.
But once
Not
I
the-
graduated, I went to my parents and said, I don't want to go to college. I'd like to try and get work. So that ambition was there.
For sure. That's
very
a big
much
deal.
so.
Yeah, I
Very,
was
very
very
much.
ambitious when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Very ambitious. And I thought from
Super
the day
driven.
first day I set foot on a set, I thought this is a great place to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also a weird profession that you can actually make a living at 18.
Yeah.
A lot
Yeah.
of people don't.
That's
and it
a
may not
great
last,
point.
but it's strange that that's even on the menu.
Yeah.
In fact, that I think is a confusing thing about being in my 60s now is like that ambition piece. It's not like it's totally gone, but it's not the same as when you're in your 20s or 30s or 40s or 50s. Like it has a different.
Is
I
that
don't know,
because
I'm
you have
looking
less
at
to
that.
prove?
I feel what I'm thinking about these days is why is the conditioning still there of this idea of accomplishment as identity, even now when it should be like you've accomplished enough, you've done enough. It still creeps in like, what are you up to? When someone says, what are you up to? I just like, it draws a blank, and I don't have an elevator speech, and I don't have the 2 lines, and I panic, knees go, yeah.
Okay, well, it's not about trying to get ahead in a world of
I'm
competitive
living my
people
life.
or a competitive thing.
Yeah.
It's experience.
I like working.
But
That's my
I do
answer.
too.
I just
I
like
do
it.
too, which is why I've tried not to stop working.
Right.
Because I like working.
But
Right.
what's that line about experience? Say it again.
What you can offer your life and in your world is experience. Is that what are you doing? I'm trying to scuba dive. I'm trying to figure out this thing. I'm
Oh, for
visiting this place.
sure.
I'm traveling. I'm reading this book.
I'm getting a PhD. Meanwhile,
I
Right.
always
she's the
have
only
that.
one sitting
Right.
here who has the perfect answer to what have you been up to.
Right.
I mean,
Well, I
no
didn't
offense,
graduate from
but-
college. I left college a quarter early to go. I was hired as a writer on a TV show. So
I
like, okay.
have come to see that I do love, my friends know this, like I just love learning stuff. Like
Right.
I love learning. I love and doing classes that are, yeah. I'm doing an improvisational clown flow class that starts for the month of June.
Is that the Helen
Through the-
Slater-iest
Right.
sentence
That's
you've ever?
fantastic.
Do you
Now-
know her well enough to know that that is quintessential?
Yeah,
You
Through
I
the
do.
clown
do.
school.
Sure.
It's such a fun, well, I don't know
But
what's
you know
gonna
how
happen.
repellent it is to hear that you're going to clown school.
Every one of my friends, nobody will
Right.
support
I
this
say yes
part
to
of my
everything,
life.
and she's asked me to
I-
come. I'm like,
It's-
right,
it's-
I gotta make a cup
And I
of
know
tea.
that clown school is different than what we think clown school
It's
is, but
very
Is it?
different.
yes, it is
No,
different.
yes.
It is different. I know that. I've researched it. It's still repellent to me. Just the
I
word clown
understand.
school. As somebody
know.
whose humor has been
I
a
know.
mainstay of my life.
There's nothing I can do. And believe me, I wouldn't usually say it out loud.
Are your styles as actresses, are your styles different? Do you know how your style is and how her style is? Do you have a
Style?
style? In other words, I saw
Right.
notebooks in her house, notebooks
Rabbinical.
of like what the character's life is, the
Deep.
deep history of
Yes.
every character she's played. And this is,
Yes.
I'm not a regular visitor to her house. This is a casual passing of what she's clearly,
Yes.
that's part of her process is like writing down a lot of
Yeah.
stuff. I don't know what your process
I mean, I do love preparation. I think that's a beautiful
Yes.
part of it.
right?
I don't really have a way of distinguishing one way or the other.
Mhm.
But I will say the roles that I've had over the last 10 years playing like the mother on Supergirl or the mother in Gigantic, this TV show, or where the part was much thinner and not as, I did start to feel that atrophy of like something deep that you can work on. And I think even my best kind of preparation part probably was not as depth filled as if you were starring in something or really having to do a longevity piece.
Well, there's such a thing as you prepare in a way that's appropriate for the thing. I don't think you're supposed to load every job up with.
That's a good way of
you know
saying
what I mean?
Yeah.
You want it to be fun.
Yeah.
I think anything that can make it fun. Honestly, all those notebooks allow me to go, okay, now I can have fun because I've ticked every box I can think of and I've put my flashlight in every corner. Now let's have fun.
Whatever either of you do to prep is fantastic because you're great. So I don't question what you do. It's great.
Yeah.
Whatever you do is fantastic. But
Such a
the what happens when you watch a movie or something that you're in is, and this, you forget that you're you and you think you're the character. And I believe the movie, which is even better. When I'm on camera, I don't believe the movie. I think that's the real difference. Even when I was on the Bob Newhart show at 10 years old, I did not
buy it for a minute.
Not for a second, no. But I love doing it. So my rule is I'll do it, I just won't watch myself.
Well, I'm
That's
largely in that camp
Yeah.
because of all that homework. It's a very 3D experience when I'm doing it. And then I watch it, I go, yeah, it's fine.
Right.
I'm not seeing all of that rich stuff I went through to get there. So watching it is overrated.
I'm going to depend on other people to say, do it again, or this is not working, and then I'll or just give up. Just say, we got the best we can get, and then we're going to move on, which is okay. But I'm available. My rule is, and this is to anybody, I'm available for acting.
As am I. This is also my rule.
You just have to sign me up. I'll know my lines.
Yep.
I'll be there on time, which I wasn't today, but I will be there on time. And no matter how degrading, I will do the part. It doesn't matter. I just like acting.
It's very fun.
Just for the experience.
Yeah.
For the experience. All right. Well, now we're running out of time. We have a few things to do. One of them is listener mail.
Now it's time for listener mail.
Dear Jay and guests, I put the S in. Is it possible to change your nature? If so, how does one go about changing their nature? Or are we fated to be who we are, both the good qualities and the qualities that we wish we could change? Thank you, Holly.
Holly's smart.
Goodness.
I would like to change my nature, honestly. There's many times where I'm like, I'm sick of being sensitive and I'm sick, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I always say in my next life, I'm just going to be this football watching guy who doesn't give a fuck. But it's not meant to be this time, so I think, no, I can't.
You can't.
I cannot.
But can people?
I don't know. I only know I can't.
It's a very deep question.
Yeah.
Holly, if you're listening, I would say you have a relationship with your nature, so you're not entirely your nature. You can have a relationship to what keeps repeating, what essential qualities keep showing up. You can have a relationship to that, is what I would say. Maybe it's not changing it, but you can be holding it in kindness or noting when you have aversion towards it, and just try and be soft with a sense of humor and Diet Coke and French fries if it's a really bad nature day, which I think we've all had.
I think there are parts of our nature that we absolutely can change. And I actually have hope.
Wow.
That's like the hope of all human race, that we can change. That if I meet somebody who is in trouble and is making bad decisions and is being self-destructive, the hope is they can change that nature. They can see it. They can grow from that. I really believe that. I hope that I can change, and I think I have changed in many ways as I gotten older.
How have you changed?
Be honest.
Well, then I'm going to say something different.
You're
now.
staring at the two of us.
But I don't think that I am as concerned about what other people think about me now at my age than I did before.
Me too.
I don't feel like I have to impress people so much. That changed a little bit. I think that I can, as my wife wishes, not make a joke in a important moment and try to be there for real and be connective for real.
Yeah.
I think I always could. I always wanted to make the joke, but now I can put that aside and be more connective. I'm more willing to jump in to stuff now?
That's
a little bit
good.
more willing? Yeah.
I think this brings up the question, though, of what's nature and what's
Yeah.
compensatory behavior. Do you know what I mean? Somewhere along the way, I learned certain things, whether it's to make a joke or whatever, to try to impress.
Right.
And I wonder if, as I get older, whether it has to do with learning about myself or just the years going by, maybe I've dropped some of those things so that my nature has a fighting chance to be in the world
So-
before I drop dead. Do you
So
know
you
what I
think that
mean?
we're hiding your true nature and
Maybe.
covering it with these other behaviors?
Sometimes.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. I don't know. Let's
No,
ask the
very
smarty
Yeah,
pants.
smarty pants, is that what we're saying?
Is that what we're saying?
I mean, if you really just, if everybody were to just take a second and feel into like your nature, your essential nature is probably something quite beautiful. Like it doesn't have negativity.
What
Positive.
about-
You know what
It's
she
just
says
like
my
a-
essential nature
Yeah.
is? Are you ready?
What?
Winnie the Pooh.
Oh,
That
that's
is
very
true.
sweet.
Do you know the joke we have with each other? Well, I have it.
Mhm.
She can be very formidable in the world. Like people will be like this with her. You know, a little more like,
Right.
is it safe to go? Is it not? Because of being the celebrity level, who knows what. But inside, she's just this mush pot, like just a complete Winnie the Pooh.
And,
And
she seems
I come
very
off
sweet.
very open
Right.
and very engaged. But deep down, I am a diamond.
Right.
Awful.
And do not
Do not
cross.
cross you.
It's really
And it's
true.
but no one ever sees it. It's just
Right.
sits as my essential time.
Okay. Well, that's your strength. That's good. You have that core. Do you think a malignant narcissist can?
Oy
Oy
vey, Jay.
vey.
At
Should
the
not-
end of the podcast, you're bringing up a malignant
Well, you
narcissist.
talked about change. You talked about you get in touch
Oh.
with your nature, and I'm saying
Oh, a malignant
narcissist
narcissist? No, they
has
cannot
a deep,
change.
horrible nature and needs
No.
to change.
Well, that's a very good exception to everything I have said.
Okay.
I really think if you have a disorder, a personality disorder, a diagnosed personality disorder, I don't think that, I think, how would you describe it?
I think then you're looking at containment.
Right.
Yes.
But if you're the malignant narcissist, somehow, I know they wouldn't be able to see it, but if somehow they could see it and know that you have to change, that I would want there to be the ability to change.
I would say give
will
up
never
all
see
hope and never ever try and change someone whose behavior just keeps
Think we've been
hurting
through
you.
a thing or two?
Yeah.
The strength of the answer.
There's such deep questions for
It's
you.
a deep
Holly is
show.
no
It's
dummy.
this show
Holly,
is about.
thank you, Holly.
This show is about feelings. It's about how we live in the world. It's not just about goofy things.
So your thing, I listened to part of your Conan interview as I was driving over about going to the joke. You've created an entire work of art devoted to not that.
A little bit. I mean, like there's been jokes. We
No,
have jokes.
but
the deeper thing is more important.
Yes.
The deeper thing. When I won an Emmy and I was able to give a speech, one of the big jokes Roberto Benigni had won an award before that, and I wanted to do a
gosh.
joke about being Roberto Benigni.
He
And
tossed
just-
me around.
and-
Do you remember that?
Roberto
yes.
did? I
Yes.
didn't-
Tossed me over his shoulder.
I did not remember that, but
Anyway.
I do remember when I won, I was going to go down the aisle and kiss people I didn't know. Just kiss people I didn't know, like Roberto Benigni was
would have
doing.
been so
and
good.
Kiss, But I could only see people I knew. So you were there, and I was like,
There goes that joke.
yeah, I really, I wanted, that's what the
Buzzkill.
joke. Yeah, I was like, I wanted to kiss people I didn't know, and I had no right to kiss.
I'd be
because-
going, "Hi,
yeah,
Jay."
Yeah, it was not the same. I think I kissed Hank. I don't know where it was that. Yeah, but the joke is very important because I grew up in a household that only valued humor. My father's a comedy writer, and
Yeah.
to win his love, you
had
gotta
to be
be funny. At least I thought so.
And you did that.
It turns out, yeah, I tried to be, but it turns out I've talked to my dad, who's still here, and he said, "No, you didn't have to be funny." So I don't know. he has a different take on it, but it doesn't matter. All right. Anyway, this is the final thing that we do is we
Yes.
ask our guests this moment of joy.
A moment of joy.
I would say two things. One is what I said earlier about learning something. I just love reading and learning. I just love that feeling that your mind can expand from studying a philosophy or a novel or just the nourishment from that. And then just synchronistically, I pulled one of the Lojong slogans, this Tibetan 59 cards that you pull out. It's in my dissertation, and I was like, coming here, I was like, let's pull a card. And do you know which one it was? And I don't know what it was, because
Make a joke at every occasion.
yes, always maintain only a joyful mind.
Okay.
That was the slogan. So what that makes me think is like, no matter what is happening, you can have your state of being or state of be in a joyful repose.
Can you?
Yes.
No matter
you
what
can.
is happening?
If you're studying in this way, if you're in a Buddhist lineage, maybe. But,
I mean, I think
but
it's
at least
possible.
the
It's very
idea,
hard.
like
Yeah.
a joyful mind, even if stuff is happening, it means that
Right.
you know that it's going to be changing, it's impermanent, it's always up and down.
Right.
The joyful mind
Well,
would hold.
I think the
whole
joyful
thing.
mind to me would be embracing the now, right? The experience, even if it's not a good experience,
That's
even if
good.
it's somebody dying, if it's embracing what this is and saying, okay, I'm going to feel the whole experience of this thing.
I love
And
that.
then walk away from that saying, I've had this moment with this person or these people or this event, and now I can move forward.
That's beautiful.
But it's not always joyful, but it's a positive way to get through it.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. What's your big?
Well, what you just said,
All right.
just
Yeah.
that is
Okay.
the real answer.
Yeah.
And honestly, going to the movies.
Yes.
Go to a baseball game. Like, I do love going to Disney. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I have
She
a
does.
young, my daughter, this is the perfect way to describe it. I'm with my daughter and her boyfriend, who is not from LA. Has he ever been to Disneyland? I'm not sure, maybe,
Mm-hmm.
but barely.
Right.
We were talking about, should we all go?
I assume he's in the punk rock band.
He's in the indie
Okay, yeah.
rock,
Mhm.
beautiful band. And I was saying, I don't know, because people who go and they don't like it or they don't like the line or just like, it's not that won't scratch the itch for me.
Mm-hmm.
And he was saying, no, I would go. I'd like to go. And my daughter said, you can't give her what she wants. And he said, what is that? And I looked at her like, what is that? And she said, wonder. I said, you're right. You're 100% right. I want to go with people who feel wonder. So maybe the moments I feel wonder
Right.
in the theater.
Mm-hmm.
I just saw Purpose in New York. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I felt wonder at the writing and wonder at the acting.
Mm.
So I think when I can grab that, which can be seeing Daisy Ridley as a Jedi Knight
Mhm.
or watching Purpose
Right.
or at its best, it's what you said.
Right.
It's in every moment. When I can grab some wonder, I'm pretty happy.
Okay, so now I have to ask you both a question because you said like going for wonder, and then you said learning. What happens, and this happens to me all the time, I pick up a book and I'm looking forward to this learning and I read it and it's shit. And it's like I'm so angry that my time has been wasted and or go to a play.
Yeah.
And
Oi.
it's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
This
There's
is a big one.
This is so, what
I
do we
will
do with this
say,
feeling?
with books, you just put it down. Like I no longer force myself like on a death march to
But
read.
don't you feel regret at having picked it up? And just like, why did I put my faith in this moment? I feel a little
God,
bit
that's
of
a
regret.
good question. Like just resenting that someone wrote such a piece of garbage.
and it's like they're not giving me what I want, which is knowledge or
I
insight.
trust now, though, that everyone's psyche is different and you're drawn to different things. And if in that moment I'm picking up something and it's not resonating, then that means there's something that will. Like, I don't feel like I want to spend time wasted on that. It means like, well, what is it that's going to, what will feel nourishing right now? Or a French fry or, you know, like.
Well, you guys really got off on the French fry.
She
Two
carries
actresses,
that
it's a
for
big
me.
deal.
Right. What about the bad play?
Well, I'm
What
gonna
do you
be
do about
just
a
gonna
bad
channel
play?
Gordon Hunt right now, my sweet
Yes.
father, who showed me a tape of Harold Clurman, one of our ancestors in the theater, who said, bad theater is essential. It's the manure out of which good, exciting theater grows. We must have it. So that's fair. We
Yeah.
live through the bad ones. We leave if we can, which gets harder when you're
Right.
famous, to be
Right.
honest. But you go, yeah, it's really hard to make something.
Right.
I've
Oh,
worked
that I
with
know.
brilliant directors. You must know this. I've worked with brilliant directors who've made 3 great movies, and then they make a couple that aren't good, and people go, what happened to him? Do you know how hard it is to
Yeah.
make one
Yes.
good movie? So, like, we remember that we're all trying to make stuff.
But the cure for the resentment piece, if you're reading something, you're like, why am I, is maybe it's not binary. I like it, I don't like it. Maybe there's a third piece, which is before you toss it across the room of like, well, what are they trying to say? And then you're like, all right, they're trying to say that, not for me. So it's not just like either I hate it or I like it. I hate it. It can be a third piece of like, well, what is he getting at? All right. Or she getting at, or the play. What are they trying to get at?
Yeah.
Not for me. So you kind of like soften the soft landing.
Maybe. I feel like I've given them already too much thought and time.
Oh.
And it's like, I would like to move on.
Yes.
And
Well, that I said.
Do you walk out of plays or movies or put books down?
Never.
Why?
I know it's my.
You just can't.
There's
I've
first of
had
all,
that.
there's hope.
Yeah, maybe it'll get better.
Maybe it'll get better. Also, these people, they're on play. These people work really hard.
I know.
And I guess I should see the rest of this.
Yeah.
I've only walked out on one movie midway through. And it was a
Really?
movie, yes.
Oh, I've walked out on film.
Once. And it was a movie called Cuba. And it was by Academy Award winner, I think, Sidney Pollack, I believe.
What?
And it was, it was
I
like
don't
the
remember
Robert
that he
Redford.
made that.
Terrible. Just it was right after he'd won an Academy Award for something. And it was like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to stay.
Yeah.
I made a big move. I stay for ball games. I stay for movies. I want to get to the end of it and experience it. Oh, well. Well, but that's too much about me. I was about you. So
Delightful.
thank you for being here.
Thank you.
This was so nice of the both of you to come. It was
you
so
for
nice of you
asking
to
us.
have French fries on my behalf. No, that
In
was,
honor of you.
and I want to just thank you for both being such lovely
Thank
people
you.
for so many years in my
you
life.
too,
And
Jay.
it's
Forever.
really sweet,
Just lovely
sweet,
forever.
wonderful people, and it's a pleasure to know you and to continue to know you, and have been in classes with both of you, and
Isn't that
it's
crazy?
fantastic. It's just
Yeah.
like how lucky am I?
Yeah.
Fantastic. And thank you. I'm going to say to the people at home, thank you for being here, and thank you for not being alone with Jay Kogan. And don't be alone. Have a conversation in person with somebody. That's the whole thing about this: is go and have a conversation with somebody. The connection you'll feel, even for just 10 minutes or 15 minutes, will nourish you for many, many days and weeks. And I'll see you next time.
Don't be alone with Jay Kogan.